Louis is the executive director of APN Group. APN Group is made up of the policy think tank, being the first and the largest NGO on AfCFTA and trade. We also have a subsidiary Women of Africa Network, and the third one, Africa Globalized Investment. The investment is focused on organizing investment events throughout Africa. It's a rotational program. We just finished the maiden one just about a week ago. So that's a bit I can say. Thank you. I think that I keep saying, I remember during one of those days when we were on the private sector stakeholders meetings. I remember on one of the days I was traveling for an expert meeting before even the agreement became adopted. I was in the flight and I sat by one American diplomat. And she asked me, young man, where are you going? You look like you're going for international conference. I said, yes, I'm going for, we are trying to put together to see how the AfCFTA will be a reality. And she asked me one question. She said, are you sure that this thing, I want to make emphasis on the word, this thing, are you sure that this thing will work? Are you sure that this whole thing that is going around will work? And I said, yes. I told her that the very fact that you see me in the airplane making that effort to go is a confirmation that it will surely work. And she just smiled at me. And that was the last time I saw her for a very long time. And today we have the AfCFTA in process. One of the things that I want us to really understand is that we shouldn't put burden on the AfCFTA. It's too young. It's part of the whole Agenda 2063 that we all know. Even though currently we are calling some of the protocols, it's still not called protocols yet. We might even have problems with the heads of states because they have not accepted it yet as protocols. So we realize that we only have phase one protocols on trade, on services, and disputes. So the other ones we haven't mentioned currently to the heads of state are their secretariat. They will call it committees, because it has not even gotten to the full attention of the heads of state of both phase two and phase three to yet to be called protocols. That is one of the big challenges yet. In other words, there could be the possibility that all that the African trade ministers have proposed could be either abandoned or could not even be accepted at all. Yet, you could also realize that during negotiations currently at the priority sectors and the trading services, 43 countries have ratified. Those 43 countries who have ratified, some of them have not fully ratified the whole agreement yet, but under the priority sector, they are going ahead to ratify. So what is keeping them from ratifying it at the bigger picture and submitting their letters of ratification to the AUC? And made issue about the fact that the challenge that we are facing now is that it is a process where right now we are at stage one. AfCFTA, or the economic integration that we are experiencing, is at stage one. And at stage one, we are at the free movement of goods and services level. Because what we are foreseeing is that the people, sometimes we look at the European Union level, which is about stage 4 of regional economic integration, whereby you have everything external, you have one common market, you have one common external custom union, we have not reached there yet. And so you're going to be having these kind of disparities among member states, where even some member states go in with one tariff common lines, you have another regional economic bloc going in as with one common tariff line, one country going. It's not a holistic block going like that. So you even still have some member states having partnership agreements with other countries outside Africa, because we are still at that stage. And this is my emphasis, that we cannot put so much pressure on the agreement at stage 1. We are trying to reap the benefit of stage 4 at stage 1, which will not work. And that is one of the issues that many clearly have been trying to put across, that the European Union did not start in one day. The European Union took several years even to really reach where they are. I say, I would like to urge member states, I would like to urge private sector, I would like to urge we all that we should continue to channel the message that, look, we are still in the process of moving to a certain stage of a full one African market. When we reach there, all these bottlenecks that we are seeing now will be a thing of the past. That is my first thing. My last point is that at this stage, I think that we ourselves, the challenge is that the revenue shortfall that that was going to be proposed or envisaged is not what they are realizing because of the pandemic. Nobody wanted the pandemic. Nobody expected the pandemic. And therefore, to just liberalize 90% like that is not just easy for some of them at all. Already, the revenue shortfall was already nosediving. Then with the pandemic, then we are now looking at what I'm going to ratify and saying, oh, look, my 90% over a period of time. It's a difficult reality. It's like, where do I stand? It's a dilemma of a ghost. Do I have to go back? Do I have to go this direction? Do I have to accept it in full? And so that has been one of the junctions that most member states are trying to look at. How did I get to this point of letting go my revenue in that capacity? But hey, it is better off when you were already not even in this agreement because you were still having such problems. And so I would also want to urge that these are some of the challenges among these trade negotiators, among these negotiators who cannot go back to their government to explain the realities on the ground. We have to face it. No one. If you put, just as we put together all the classified the countries in stages, in liberalization perspective, the category 6, category 3, that is a group of 6 who are very, very least developed. It's not going to be easy for them within the first 2 years after liberalizing. And so this is one of the junctions that the challenges we are seeing, the reality that we are facing after liberalizing of 90% in the face of the pandemic, in the face of no diving revenue shortfall, and where we have the thing. Finally, one of the areas also that we're foreseeing that I think is becoming a bit trying to pull around is that, look, we did not factor security as one of the key issues in this whole agreement. And we'll have to look at it again because there is a potential threat when you have countries sharing border and their borders have been closed for several years, especially if you look at Algeria and Morocco. These are big players in the whole AfCFTA agreement. These are big contributors of goods when it comes to the African Union, and yet their borders have been closed for years. How does AfCFTA come in? Because AfCFTA has its boundaries. How would the political leaders play in this whole thing? So security is key. And we have to now go back and really look and rethink whether it's not too late to have some supplementary inputs. This is what I think that we need to be looking at all these things, just as we are considering the women and youth in trade as one of the important committee discussions. We should look at security because that is very, very key. And also we should embrace, we are also going to see this free movement of people very, very well. Then we should embrace the one African passport because it was supposed to be due last year. How many countries have ratified? Because when we have the one African passport, it really overshadows the Abuja Treaty of 1991 on which the AfCFTA stands on which AfCFTA stands on for free movement of people. One African passport will be one important agenda we can continue to move simultaneously as we are traveling through this early stages of foreseeable challenges, which we can surely overcome. Thank you, Yavi. Sorry.
Yes, thank you very much. I think my co-panelists have dealt a big one to that, but I think that by and large, the opportunities are enormous. What we need to do for businesses to benefit, because already we were doing business before AfCFTA came. How were we doing it? We just need to really take advantage of it this way. One, we need to really translate all the literature in a more practical guideline book. We need to have a practical guideline book on all the agreements and its annexes. For example, we need to have a practical book on trading services to help businesses who would like to pitch, whether within the tourism, whether within the 5 priority areas or the yet to be accepted or yet to be adopted 7 other priority areas, including energy. It's very important because it will help professional bodies that is part of the first 5 priority areas, sectors. If there is a practical guideline book, and I know that the Secretariat is about to work on this, we as think tanks, individual, private sector can also come out with practical guideline books. This will help what I call the rural or the informal AfCFTA within national territories. Because if you go to every country, there is a need for a decentralization. And this is key for those in the informal sector, as a lot of them who are pitched around the rural areas, to really be participatory in this. Secondly, there is a need for the local AfTA offices that were proposed by the Council of African Trade Ministers to be implemented. Most of the member states have not really put a lot of action to this recommendation. Ghana, we have the AfTA local coordination of that act as an intermediary between interministerial committee and then the AfTA secretariat. And the purpose is for them to continue sensitization, capacity building, because there is a need to let various stakeholders put themselves together in cooperative unions, association, trade associations, where they can be able to bargain, to be able to go in as one block to seek whether it's going to be technical assistance or it's going to be trade finance support. That is very, very key, because we have a lot of our people in the informal sector who are already trading, who are already doing cross-border trade. Let them, how do we bring them into the exportable chain? Some can be within the supply chain, some can be within the procurement chain, so that we can put them together. I like one concept that Egypt is doing, you know, when it comes to, in terms of the area of professionals. They are trying to rope in the newly graduated graduates to go around the export associations, to help most of these informal sector people to take advantage of not only AfCFTA, but exporting outside Egypt. This will let the people really come closer, because some of them have a problem with identification of products. Some of them don't understand which product do I have to take to which country. I remember recently a business mongo called me, a woman, and said, look, I'm trying to import something from so and so country. I'd like to know, how do I go about it? Is it a product that people don't know? We are only looking at the export. We're looking at the import as well, because if a product is being produced in Togo and its originating status is in Togo, and it falls part of those tariff lines, if I tell that businesswoman that when you import to Ghana, you don't have to pay duty, she will be happy. That means that her volume of import will be high, and it will be revenue, it will bring revenue to Togo. It's also going to help the Ghana market, because the prices will fall, because you're not going to pay tax on export. We need to make it practical to these people, put them together, bring them together in associations, so that they can be able to tap into the practical gain of it. This is one of the areas that the local coordination offices should really be doing. Then again, my appeal to the media. The media should know that they are not just transporters or the pipeline of AfCFTA. They are part of it. They are part of it, and therefore they should come up with programs free of charge to think tanks, to institutions, to private sector people who like to do air programs on their platforms to the masses who don't understand, to have a collaboration. That is the best way, and I think Kenya is doing very well when it comes to this rural trade information. This is some of the practical ways that businesses can do. Then again, I heard that the insurance community did not know whether they really fit into this whole AfCFTA. No, professional bodies, come on. You are part of the financial institutions. You are part of the professional bodies, especially insurance. And I keep saying that if you don't see any form of it in the agreement, look, you contact your trade negotiators, contact your policy makers within your regional economic blocks to push forward an agenda, to push forward a lobby, which can be discussed at the trade ministers' councils, and then finally you will see it being implemented. Let us know that just as we have the exit clause or the AfCFTA after 5 years, we still have opening windows where we can do a lot of review, a lot of inclusions. So this is my appeal, and how businesses can position themselves to really benefit from the numerous opportunities that AfCFTA really brings. Then again, I would like to also say that before even the digitization of trade or the digitized trade, which is going to be part of the protocol in the end, before it comes, people are already doing e-commerce. People are even doing, and when it comes to e-commerce, we are looking at the bigger picture. Let us start with our mobile phones. Let us start with our mobile phones. And I'm happy that a lot of people are really making it, doing business digitally. And it's amazing. This is one of the areas we have to look at. This is what we have to encourage even the youth. Then again, we need to support those, our youth who come out with inventions, who come out with innovations, and help them with copyrights, help them with patents. Even though the intellectual property right is not completed yet, we still can help them. When they come out with an innovative product, how do we help them from the process to the point where the product will reach the consumer market? And that's one of the things that my network is doing. When we hear that you have come out with a product, we'll help you get you registered with the business registration authorities. After that, we have to get certification and standardization. Then after that, we have to look for market intelligence for you. We need to bridge the gap between conceptualization of ideas and products to the final end destination of where consumers will do. This is what will let all of us be more inclusive in reaping the benefits of the African continental free trade. Thank you. What Africans want is that when you are not happy with the chapters of a book, you don't bend the book. You can revise editions. If these Africans are now rethinking, Africans are now rebranding, Africans are ready for industrialization, we want our leaders not to come back and tell us that this agreement is not working, it won't work. What you need to do is that Africans are prepared to hear that you have revised what is not working so that we can move forward. This is where we are now. Thank you.